All right, to schools now. This is the last full week for classes for the city's 1.2 million school students.
Yeah, this school year was anything but ordinary. We know this for both teachers and students, right? Joining us this morning to take a look back at what they have gone through and give us some insight into what's expected in the months to come, Teachers Union President Michael Mulgrew. So good morning to you, Mr. Mulgrew. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. What a heck of a year it's been for teachers and students, right? Aside from the pandemic, we know the Department of Education also came under new management this year after Chancellor Carranza stepped down. So how has it been working with new Chancellor Meisha Porter now that you've been in it for a few months?
Well, she's been great to work with. She's been very responsive, and she takes her perspective more about what happens inside of the school and the classroom that's going to make a difference in education, and really has been quite good to work with. But there's so much to do right now. I mean, the amount of challenges we're facing, but at the same time, trying to build on some of the progress we've made she's been a good partner.
Yeah. Right. And only adding to everything you guys have been up to, the city has revamped its summer school and is now launching the new Summer Rising program, which is now open to all students. Fantastic. How is this going to impact your teachers?
Well, the thing is, we were calling for a very aggressive summer school program. And the city heard that and has been pushing towards getting as many children as we possibly can back into school. The whole thing now is to get children back into school and get them acclimated. We can do our jobs much better when the children are in our classrooms and in our school buildings.
I want to stay with Summer Rising for a second, though, because it's supposed to be for all students, right?
Yep. But
one of our reporters, Kalarama, where she covers the education beat, is saying that several parents have reached out saying that special needs children, in particular for the Summer Rising program, are being waitlisted. What do you know about that?
That should not be happening. But I also know, the city has been under a corrective action plan for non-compliance with special education for a couple of years now from the state education department. Ourselves and parents have been pushing that the bureaucracy of the Department of Ed does not really support the actual services for special ed children in the way it should be. So that shouldn't be happening, but it wouldn't surprise me. And if anyone wants to send us information on that, we'll be more than happy to advocate on behalf of those children.
Thanks.
All right, Michael, let's talk about remote learning here. We understand it was completely taken off the table when school reopens in the fall, but this obviously, as we have been reporting, not so welcome news to all parents and teachers. So is the city open to perhaps your suggestion of offering a remote alternative for students who aren't just ready to physically be back in those classrooms?
At this moment, they are not. They have not been open to that. I think there's more of a fear that if they say they're open to it, there's going to be a rush by a lot of people to say, I want a remote program. There are parents who rightfully, because of their children's medical conditions, really need to be the city needs to be more thoughtful about the probability of giving these children some sort of a remote program. But at the same time, we do want our children back into school. We have a lot of work to do. There's been a lot of harm and damage because of this pandemic. And the best way for us to deal with that is to have them back inside of the school. So we're hoping most parents come into schools, see them. We're encouraging schools to open up their doors and let people come in. The teachers and the school staff did a great job with making sure that their schools were safe. And parents should feel better once they walk into a school and see that their child will be safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pandemic forced the Department of Education to really look at creating smaller class sizes. We're talking about primaries. A lot of the candidates talking about smaller class sizes as well. Is the Department of Education, have you been in talks with them to implement your recommendations to reduce class sizes in schools that need it most? And do you have the staff to do that?
We've been in conversations, but they're not going very far at this point. Everybody who let's just put it this way. Everyone who runs for office believes in smaller class sizes. We're hoping now that this is the opportunity to do it. Do we have the staff? We could have the staff because we have the American Recovery money. We have over 4,500 full-time day-to-day subs that have been working because of what we had to deal with this year. And it's really the opportunity. This is the #1 issue for parents in the city of New York. This is the #1 issue. Lower class size. And if there's ever a time we need it, it's right now, because we want to spend more one-on-one time with our students, because that's how really to get moving again after this pandemic.
Mr. Mulgrew, we're out of time here, but real quick, just on the teacher shortage issue overall, we're hearing in other parts of the state there is. 10 seconds here. Does New York City have a teacher shortage?
We might be. I'll let you know in September.
You might be. So you don't know yet going into the school year.
Looking at the numbers now, we're not sure yet, but we are, because of the pandemic, we're seeing a teacher shortage across the entire country. New York City's always been able to stay outside of that, but I don't know if that's going to continue. I think we might start seeing a shortage for the first time in a while.
All right, that's big news there. So keep us posted. We'll continue to talk to you over the summer. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
Have a great day, everyone.
Absolutely. All right. We know a lot of those programs, it hinges on having those teachers.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.